Hi everybody, welcome to Technical Math. This class normally meets Monday and Wednesday mornings at 7:30 in the morning until 9. The reason that we meet at this early hour is to avoid conflict with anything in the welding shop. The main audience for this course are our welding students and our drafting students. So the drafting students are a little easier to work around, but welders are in the shop an awful lot. So we've just found that this time seems to work the best. But for that reason, this class, our first class, will be held Wednesday, August 21st, and we won't have a class again until the following Monday, which would be Monday, August 26th. So for that reason, I'm sending you this video, and if you will email me back and tell me that you've watched the video and that you have begun chapter 1 and that you have your textbook, you don't have to come to class on the 21st. So the first time that you and I will meet in person then would be Monday, August 26th. But in order to do that, you need to watch this video and then send me an email saying that you've watched the video. All right, so let's get down to it. I'm going to show you the material that I will cover on the first day of class if you are indeed not able to watch this video, or if you don't email me back and you have to be here on the 21st. Otherwise, like I said, we'll see you on the 26th. So the first thing that we need to do is to access your Moodle page, which is part of your student portal. So one of your assignments for the beginning of our class is to make sure that you can get onto your student portal, which is at my.nwc.edu. Now mine looks a little different than yours. Some of the features that I'm going to show you today will be very similar so that you'll be able to step through the process. But because I'm a teacher instead of a student, mine looks a little bit differently. But you need to be able to access this, and you may need to go through computer services to do so. And then you'll have a page that looks similar to what you see on your screen. Over here on the right, you'll see this Moodle header, and then underneath it you'll see the classes that you're signed up to take for the semester. Now, some of your classes will not use Moodle. Some of your classes will use them extensively. In our class together in Technical Math, we won't use it very much, but if you ever miss a class, the material that we cover will be on the Moodle page, so you don't ever have to submit things through Moodle. You don't ever have to go to Moodle, but it is a place where it would be at least a repository for all of the things that we'll need in this class. So we're going to go to our web page, and I have to change my password. So let's try again. So I will click on that, and I find that we go to 19 Fall Technical Math 1. And yours will look like this. Now what I've posted so far are the pieces of all class information. The only thing that we really have here is the syllabus. And then for each day for chapters 1 and 2 of our textbook, we also have the assignment. So for example, today, 8/21, the first day of class, if you click on that, it will just go over what we are doing. We're going to go over the syllabus. You'll do the homework for sections 1.1 and 1.2 in your textbook. And when I say do the homework, I'll show you specifically what I mean. You don't have to do all of the problems. You'll do every 5th problem. You'll do the first problem, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, and then you'll do the last problem. So if, for example, there were 53 problems, you would do problems 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and 53. That would be your homework set. So you'll do that on the first day. And then, of course, like I said, you will email me to tell me that you watched this video, and that way you don't have to go to class on that day. The reason I'll do this occasionally, most of the time we will meet in class, almost all of the time we will meet in class. But since we're starting school on a Wednesday and then we don't have another class till Monday, just wanted to give you the opportunity to start on Monday coming to our class. So just to give you a little bit of a buffer going in. All right, so the first thing, like it said, is we're going to go over the syllabus. And so you click here on class syllabus, and you'll get a copy of that document. Now this document and any syllabus that you have at college is almost a contract. This tells you what I expect from you, what you can expect from me, and also how you earn the grade that you want to have. Now, if you are a welder or a drafter, you want to get a grade of a C- or better. Although it's been my experience after teaching this class many times that most students who come to class, do their homework, and take the quizzes will probably have an A or a B. But if you get below a C-, so in other words, if you get a D or an F, you'll have to retake this class. So the best thing to do is to do the elements of the class, and if you're not able to work with me, to ask me questions about problems that you're having, or ask me questions about the homework. Make sure that you understand what you're doing, and then do the elements. And if you need more time, you need to work with me to do that as well. But always do the elements, and if you can't do the elements for whatever reason, talk to me, and then you'll pass the class, and we'll just get to see each other in the halls and in the welding shop, but you won't have to show up and see me at 7:30 in the morning after this semester. All right, so beginning at the top, Northwest College, this is the fall 2019 semester. The course name is Technical Math 1. It's worth 3 college credits. It is a requirement for the welding degree, and it is one of the math requirements that you can take for the drafting degree. The number is Math 1510. We will always meet in Math and Science Room 120, and the time is from 7:35 till 8:50 on Mondays and Wednesdays. My name, like I said in the beginning, is Astrid Northrup. My office is 117. I'm just directly across the hall from our classroom, 120, and this is my phone number and my email. Now, I do not know exactly when my office hours will be, but I'll be here an awful lot, and anytime I'm in my office, you are free to stop by. The other thing, if you need to meet me and you want to make sure that we're going to connect, please send me an email, and then I will schedule an appointment so that you will not have to worry about sharing your time with anyone else. You won't have to worry whether I'm going to be there or not. If you say, I'd like to see you Tuesday at 10, I'll either write back and say, great, I've got it on my calendar, or I'll say, how about Tuesday at 10:30 because I'm busy at 10, and we can work out a time that will be just allocated to you. So that's really my advice. Calling me is not very efficient because my office phone is kind of strange, and sometimes the voicemails don't record. So the best way to get a hold of me in between classes is via email. The other thing is, just like with this, I will email you if there are any announcements in between class. So the announcement today, of course, is if you watch this video and email me, you don't have to go to class on the 21st. So sometimes you get a little surprise, a little bonus if you are good about checking your email, and then of course sending messages to me through email as well. All right, so the catalog description of this course, it's a comprehensive review of mathematical fundamentals and applications of algebra and trig technology. It does not fulfill the math requirements for an AA or an AS degree, only for an AAS degree. So if you have any question, if you're not in the welding program and you're not in the drafting program, please let me know and we'll check to make sure that you are in the correct math class. The other thing about this is we're talking about applications of math. It's not an algebra class. It's not theoretical. It's very applied. So everything that we do has a direct application in the real world. So I can almost always tell you within a day or two, if you say, what will I ever use this for? I can almost always have a very good answer for that for you. So if you have in the past not seen the value in an algebra class or something that's kind of theoretical, this is not going to be like this. This is about cutting pieces of steel and drawing things, looking at different views of sides of things and measuring things. So we'll, like I said, we'll always be able to get down to it, into that application very, very quickly. The outcomes for this course, it fulfills the Math Gen Ed for some AAS programs. And to do that, we have to apply math skill to be successful in subsequent coursework in your chosen profession. We choose appropriate mathematical problem-solving techniques within the context of practical situations. We learn math fundamentals and use math as a practical tool. And also you will gain experience in the application of math principles to problems found commonly in industry in nature. Okay, we already went over the grading, but in order to be in this class, you should have completed Math 900, which is pre-algebra, or place at a level 1 on the math exam, which is called AccuPlacer, or sometimes it's called ALEX, or to have consent of the instructor. You will need to buy a textbook for this class, and the cover of the textbook looks like this: Technical Mathematics, 3rd edition with problem solving by Leflin, Henderson, Volker, and Janusik. Now this book is a workbook format, so it is not a hardback. It's a paperback book, and also it's relatively inexpensive. It's $30 or so. You can buy this either at the bookstore here on campus, or you can order it through Amazon or sometimes eBay. But whatever you do, you need to have this when class starts, because your homework will come out of this, and I don't have a facility for doing the homework with you without you owning a copy of this textbook. Now, if you're borrowing it, you may borrow it from somebody in your, like somebody who took this class last year. That's fine, as long as you have access to the textbook. And I don't really know if this is available in an electronic copy, if any of you like to do Kindle. I just haven't checked on that. But if it is, that's excellent as well. So all of the topics that we cover will be from this textbook, except Chapter 4, most of which will come from other sources. I'll give you handouts. You don't have to buy anything else. And also measurement. So we learn how to read different graded tape measures, and I will bring in some examples and some trial and error things for that. So we will not cover chapters 9 through 11. We will not cover chapter 13, and the rest of the stuff comes out of that textbook. Now, how do you get the grade that you want? The answer is that you will keep your homework until every quiz, which a quiz covers 2 chapters. So when you take the chapter 1 and 2 quiz, which will be just shortly, I'll go over the schedule in just a moment, at that point you will hand in your homework notebook. I'll grade it and get it back to you. So you can keep it together in any format you like. If you like to keep it in a folder, if you like to keep it in a ring binder, either one of those things is fine, but you have to keep it in order and neat so that I can grade it fairly quickly and get it back to you by the end of the quiz. So we'll have quizzes that cover 2 chapters each, and if you look at this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chapters that we cover. So that means you'll have 5 quizzes. You'll also have a comprehensive final, which will be on December 14th, and then your attendance and class participation is worth 10%. So you can raise your entire grade by coming frequently, and you can lower your grade by a full letter grade by not coming frequently. Now, as far as class participation, what I mean is working on your homework, asking me questions. A lot of our time together will be spent with you doing your homework. So in other words, you don't like have to write on the board or like work in groups, unless sometimes we do, but not very often. But class participation means doing your work during the time that we're together and asking questions when you need. Now, as a weighted average of these 4 components, if you make 90 to 100%, you'll get an A. 80 to 90, you'll get a B. And if you get less than 60%, you'll get an F. So I would really love it if everybody in the class gets an A or a B. And that happens sometimes. It happens not that uncommonly. Most people who get D's and F's don't come to class. So if you come to class, you do your work. I have very, very rarely had a student who was not able to be successful in this class. So the other thing is, if you miss the first 2 classes, you will be automatically withdrawn. Now, if you email me on the 21st or before the 21st that you have watched this video and you start chapter 1, which I'll show you in just a moment, then you have attended in my book. So just email me back, let me know you've seen this video, tell me you're getting started on chapter section 1.1 and 1.2, every fifth problem, and ask me any questions in the email that you would like, and then you will get attendance for the first class. That means that when you show up on the 26th, you will have attended the first two classes. But if you miss the 21st and you miss the 26th, I will automatically withdraw you from the class. So please don't do that. It says here, you will not pass the class if you don't attend almost all of the time. That is just based on my experience teaching this class for a long, long time. People who don't attend don't pass, and it's really that simple. So please come, and you'll probably pass if you participate. The quizzes, the 5 quizzes and the final exam, you have to take during the prescribed time, which I'll always let you know ahead of time. There are no surprise quizzes or pop quizzes, but you'll need to, if you are not able to come, if there's something that happens on that day, if you're participating in an extracurricular event, if you get sick, if you have a family obligation, you have to bring me a note from somebody who is in authority. So I would prefer if you just show up, but I understand that we all have lives outside of this class. So if something comes up, please do those things so that we can schedule a makeup. Okay. I'll post everything to that Moodle page so that you'll always know what you're supposed to do. And just making sure I'm covering all of the points. This point is a little bit hard for some people to understand, but you're responsible for all material covered during excused and unexcused absences. So if for some reason you're not able to be in class, you still have to do the work. If you know how to do the work, you can get your textbook and you can work through it. If you don't, you can visit with me, you can visit with your classmates. You can ask for an appointment. In any case, we will be able to get you caught up, but you will need to be responsible. I will not bird dog you and say, oh, you weren't in class on Wednesday, let me show you what's going on. Your responsibility to get that done. But I'm always available, not being a hard case. I'm just letting you know that especially if you're just out of high school, the locus of responsibility shifts, and it's your responsibility to tell me what you need to be successful. All right, so I assign homework almost every class period, and then you collect it. I will collect it when the quiz occurs, but I want you to do it the day that I assign it. You'll have time to do it in class, but the reason I do that is because if you start having things that are difficult for you, you don't want to find that out the night before the quiz. So you want to do your homework steadily and consistently. Won't take you that long as you keep up. Also, then you will know if you're having trouble and if you're struggling, you can come talk to me and I can get you squared away. Okay, so quizzes cover 2 or 3 chapters each, generally 2. The quizzes only cover the material assigned since the last quiz. You need to turn in your homework notebook on the day of the quiz. Grade it while you're taking the quiz, as I had said before. You have to do that or you get a 0. Academic dishonesty is the formal name for cheating or trafficking, and it will not be tolerated. If you have any questions about what that means, you can certainly ask me. I can refer you to the student handbook, but I think most people know what cheating looks like. I really don't mind if you work with your classmates on your homework. You cannot work on quizzes with your classmates, and you cannot work on the final exam with your classmate. Those are solo endeavors. But if you work with somebody on your homework, even if you're kind of sharing the load, you do not have to worry about cheating as long as the homework comes to me as a solo endeavor in your own handwriting. So you can't do half and your classmate do half and then turn it in together or photocopy it or anything like that. It has to be each one of you has to write it out after you've had some time together doing your homework. Please don't use your cell phones during class. That's just a courtesy thing. If you need to take the call, leave the room. And also don't spend your time texting or checking things. Now, if you have a situation where you need to have your cell phone on, please just let me know. For example, if you have somebody in your family who is having surgery, or if you are a first responder. I've had this happen before, or I've had people who are EMTs or paramedics on call. Of course you can keep your pager or your cell phone on, but just let me know. But I'm talking about routine things. Routinely don't be using your cell phone in class. And you cannot use it during a quiz or a test. You cannot use it as a calculator. So if you have a calculator, you can use the one that you have as long as it does not access the internet. That's why you can't use a phone. And if you need a calculator, I will bring you one. So you can't keep it during, but you can use it during all the classes, during the quizzes and so forth. You can't use your cell phone. Don't use tobacco products in class. That's just a personal thing. You're not allowed to smoke or vape on campus. Some people like to chew tobacco. When I come to help you, it stinks, and I don't like to look at it in a bottle, so please just don't use it in my class. You know, if you're not spitting it, I'm not going to probably know, but I would just prefer that you keep it off your person while you're in class with me. All right, these are some things that you need to know, is that we are committed to removing barriers that are faced by people with documented disabilities. So if you have any documented disability, whether it's psychiatric, learning, mobility, health related, or sensory, I will work with you to make sure that the classroom is a place where you can learn. Now, I am not an expert in any of those things, but the best way to do it is to work with our Student Success Center. This statement says it's in the lower level of Coulter Hall. It is no longer in the lower level of Coulter Hall. It's actually in the administration building, in the Orndorff building, in the very center. And the people who work there are extraordinarily good at telling me how I can make the classroom a welcoming place for you to learn. If you know something that helps you, just let me know and I'll accommodate you without having a formal letter. But if not, if you'll work with our Student Success Center, I'm sure that we can help you in whatever way you need to be helped. We also do not discriminate on the basis of any of the protected classes, and we are non-discriminatory in nature, and I'm committed to that as well. So we just have a classroom that is a place of civility and respect for diversity, and I will support anybody in any effort to have a more accommodating and civil classroom. So if anything happens that is troubling to you, please let me know, and I will make sure that it is corrected. All right, if you do need to drop or withdraw, please go through the formal process. If you need help with that, let me know. But if you just quit coming, you'll get an F. And a W or a D, a drop, not a D like the grade of D, but a W is much better. It does not affect your grade point average. It generally has less of effect on your financial aid. So don't just stop coming, go through the process to drop or withdraw from class. And if you need help with that, let me know. The last part of this, which is all available to you, are some of the resources that are available to you as a student at Northwest College, and I hope that you will utilize them. One thing that is really super here is we have an office called Project Succeed or Trio, and there are a lot of benefits that are available to a person if they meet the criteria for joining Project Succeed or Trio. So if you'd like to talk about that, please let me know, and I would be thrilled to show you how that works. So that is the end of our talk about the syllabus. So if you do the elements that are required for you on the first day of class, which is go over syllabus, already done it. Homework for sections 1.1 and 1.2 in your textbook. At the end of each section, there are exercises, and like I said, you want to do problems 1, 5, 10 up to the last problem, and then email me that you've watched this video. And once you've done those 1, 2, 3, 4 things, you have completed the requirements, and you do not have to come to class on the 21st. So although I'm looking forward to meeting you, I hope I get to meet you on the morning of the 26th rather than the morning of the 21st. I will be here on the 21st, so if you wish to come that day, or if you're not able to watch this video, or if you have any questions that you would prefer to ask me face-to-face, I'll see you on the 21st. Otherwise, I'll see you on the 26th. Thanks for your attention, and we'll see you on one of those 2 days.